Hello, I'm Lance Edgar, and this is the Den. Today we have softball coach and baseball coach. We have,
Coach Bearden.
Coach Luther.
and today we're going to be talking about the upcoming season with both baseball and softball. So, Coach Bearden, how did that benefit game go last week?
It actually went really well. You know, we did some things right. We did some little things wrong, but kind of expected as, outcome of the first game. The scoreboard didn't look good, but I was really proud of the way my guys played. Like I said, we know what we have to work on now, and we know we're going to continue to move forward.
Yeah, that's good. What are your expectations coming into the season?
Just as a coach in general, we always have high expectations for our team. So I expect us to compete at the highest level year in and year out, and that's no different for this year. Just that my guys are ready, and they're getting themselves there right now.
How about you, Coach Luther? What are your expectations going into the season?
To piggyback off of Coach Bearden there, yes, our expectations are high always. But last year how we ended this season was on a pretty good note, but we struggled with the better pitching, and so that's kind of what we are really focusing on. I've got some good competition set up in the schedule, playing those 6A schools, getting to see the best of the best that I think here in Arkansas that we can get scheduled, in hopes of when we get to that point, we're ready. So.
Yeah. So last year we went to state. How far did we get in state?
Made it to the quarters.
Of course. Awesome.
Yeah, quarterfinals.
Okay. So talk to us a little bit about who's stepping into leadership roles this year.
So we have about half of our team right now, because basketball girls are still rocking and rolling, and I'm very proud of them for that. But we've had a few girls step into it. You always expect your seniors to step into that leadership role. However, that's not always the case. It's whoever feels like they can fill that role, and I don't expect it to always be a senior. I kind of look to whoever wants to take on that role, and sometimes it could be an upperclassman, a senior, or it could be even a freshman or a sophomore coming in, that is a born leader that takes on that role, and I'm all for it. But I also expect to see it kind of change throughout the season. So right now, we've got a few girls that are stepping in. But I'm curious to see how that's going to play as we go through the season and once we get the whole team.
Yeah. How about you, Coach Bearden?
Again, just kind of piggyback off Coach Luther there. I have a couple of my guys in mind that I think are going to have the potential to be able to step up and do that. But right now, we've only been together for about a week since basketball's gotten out. So I'm just kind of letting them kind of push themselves ahead, push them kind of, the cream kind of rises to the top. So I'm just kind of waiting on those guys. But I do have some expectations of who I expect that to come out of. And just like Coach Luther said, and it may not necessarily be an upperclassman. It may not be a senior. It may not be a junior. I've got freshmen this year that are going to play big roles on varsity, and it may be one of those guys that step up and start to lead us, which would be, a great thing for our team. When your young guys can lead, you've got them coming up for the next 3 or 4 years. When they can step up and show, hey, I've got the capability to lead this program, that's always a good thing for us. And I think Coach Luther's kind of in the same boat. We've got some young players that are coming up and coming through who are going to buy in, and that's what we're waiting on. We're waiting on one of those guys to step up and say, hey, I lead this team.
Awesome. Yeah. So since now our turf fields are finally all done on all 3 fields, what is it like playing on turf?
It's amazing. I mean, we've practiced on it now. I got more done, in the fall season in the fall off season than I've ever been able to get done, because I've been able to be on the field. And now on a day like today where it's rained and, done some things, I can still get out there and do something. Yeah. And just playing on it makes all the infield hops true. It doesn't have my infielders guessing. What's going to happen? Is this going to take a bad hop? Is it not going to take a bad hop? It's going to play true. Yeah. So my guys have a good idea of what's coming at them when the ball's hit. And it's, it takes a lot of workload off of us coaches. We spend more than half our time, working the infield, working the dirt and things like that, and to be able to lift that off our shoulders so we can be focused more on our team, how to improve our team, it's been absolutely amazing.
Awesome. Yeah. How about you, Coach Luther?
Yeah, I mean, I love it. Just like you said, we have more time to practice in this springtime. You know, being a spring sport already is hard enough with the weather. We are able already. We've been able to get more practice time in. As the season comes, we'll be able to get more games in. We may have to wait, you know, to the last minute to make that decision. But, you know, I believe that 9 times out of 10 we're going to be able to play opposed to cancel. So we're really stoked about that. But, you know, the true hops coming off, you know, in the infield, even in the outfield, our girls are gaining more confidence. And so that's great to see. We can tell them, you know, hey, keep your head in there. You know it's not going to take a crazy hop and hit you in the eye. So it kind of helps them build their confidence, and we're getting to see, you know, see them develop into a better player just because they're able to build that confidence. And then also too in the outfield, the changes are, you know, if it is a big pop fly, it's going to take a different bounce than it would on grass. So we've been really working on that, and I think we'll actually get to play that to our advantage this year. We'll see a lot of other teams not know how to handle that. And so that'll be nice.
So the turf.
Sorry, don't mean to interrupt, and to add on to what Coach Luther's saying and what I said about the hops, it's a big player safety thing for me. Okay, for me, in my eyes, when you know what the ball is going to do when it's hit at you, it's safer, right? Because you know what to expect. You're not going to get the bad hop that's going to hit you in the face, that's going to come up and hit you in the shoulder. You know, whatever may cause an injury. Things like that. And as far as sliding and things like that, you're not going to get hung up. You're not going to get caught up. You know, for me, it's a big step ahead in player safety, and knowing that for me, my infielders and Coach Luther, her infield and outfield, that those guys are going to be just a little bit safer playing on that turf. You know, because I've had players in the past that had a ball bounce up, hit them in the mouth, and I have to pull them out of the game. You know, this year I feel like I don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
Also, too, I've had more girls dive in for the balls already
Absolutely.
in practice this year than I did last year. So that's, as a coach, you love to see that effort. So.
And I think that was part of the reason we played well Tuesday night is we got to go to Bentonville West. They have a turf infield. My guys were comfortable on that turf infield. We were laying out for balls. We were on the ground, just like Coach Luther said. My guys played a whole lot harder because they are more comfortable on the turf.
That's awesome. So with turf, is the infield and outfield, are they like different compositions? Like, does it play differently?
Mine does, just because my outfield is not turf.
Okay.
So we've got, and you can't even notice where the transition is when it comes off of the infield to the outfield. It's the same height, everything's level. You can just tell it goes from turf to grass. That's the only difference. With Coach Luther's, there of course is no transition because she's got her whole field done, and it's the same turf all the way around.
Awesome.
Yeah, the only thing that is different is our warning track. So right in front of the fence, it's about 5 feet, I think, 5 feet wide, whatever. It's actually, I'm not sure what it is, but you can feel it. So you're running across it as you're running behind. That would be the situation.
Yeah.
You don't have time to look and see where you're at. So it's really cool that you can feel it on your feet as you're running to it. So you're like, okay, hey, I got like 2 steps left, and then I'm going to run into the fence.
Yeah.
So, you know, we encourage our other players around them to be vocal and tell them fence, but they also have that they can feel to give them that little extra confidence and security.
Yeah. So also with turf, I know with football especially, it's better to have a different kind of cleats. So I know with baseball, you guys typically had spikes. Are you guys still doing spikes, or did most people transfer over to turf shoes?
It's kind of a 50-50 mix for me. If I've got an infielder who knows he's a true infielder who's only going to play infield, he's going to wear turfs. I mean, like I'll use Cameron Bedwell for example. He's my starting shortstop, and I've only seen him wear turfs this year at practice and in the game on Tuesday. Then use Gunnar Woolard for example. He's an outfielder. He knows he's going to play outfield, so he wears spikes. You know, it's a good mix. The turf can handle spikes. It can handle molded cleats. It can handle turfs. It can handle it all. So that's a positive thing for us.
Are most of your players switching to turfs as well?
So while we're on the home turf, yes, we will have turfs. I told them, you know, they can wear the cleats, they can wear the spikes if they want to. I think it does feel a little better maybe on them, just shoe wise, comfort wise, to have that turf. However, when we go play other teams in our conference, because we are the only school in our conference that has a turf field,
Okay.
they will still need to have those spikes. So
Yeah.
they gotta have both, unfortunately. But while we're at home, I think the majority of us that I've seen this year, I told them if they want to wear cleats, they can, or spikes. But you know, it might be better for them comfort wise to wear the turfs. So.
Any final words for Lion fans?
Just come out and support us. I mean, I know these early season games are tough to come out and see because you don't know how cold it's really going to be. You don't know if it's ever going to start raining. I know the conditions can be tough, but come out and support, especially these guys. And I know Coach Luther will say the same about her girls. Since January, they've been working hard, and they are fired up and ready to go. And I'm as excited as I've ever been about a baseball season, and just ready to get started. So just come on out and support us.
Yeah, come check out the new facilities, the turf. It looks amazing. We're definitely very proud to have it, and we want to showcase it. We want y'all to come look at it as fans, and just come and see how hard these kids have been working, because they have been working hard, and we're proud of them. So,
Awesome.
and we need your support. So.
This was the Den. We'll see you next time.
I got